الآن في المحاضرة الأخيرة قبل الغداء راح يكون معنا السيد محمد الخطيب مهندس نظم سيسكو الكويت، فليتفضل مشكورا إلى البوديوم. محمد الخطيب، الأستاذ محمد الخطيب موجود؟
السلام عليكم. أنا محمد الخطيب، سيسكو سيستم اركيتكت based in Kuwait. أنا mainly شغال مع ال public sector وال oil and gas accounts. اليوم أنا حاب أحكيكم عن one of the greatest innovations من عند سيسكو اللي هو سيسكو WebEx Cloud Calling. معلش بس. WebEx Cloud Calling. How do we achieve it? What do we deliver? And what to deliver in WebEx app application. Okay, so basically in the pandemic, most of the people moved back to home, right? So the need for hybrid work arose, right? So, and this was there and still here, right? More than the people have increased in the meeting, online meeting, 3 times than pre-pandemic. We have increase of overall telephony users by 2025 of 50%, which is cloud users. And we have over 64% of users that will need mobility and agility to do their daily tasks. And the future of work, as I mentioned, is hybrid, right? And it's here to stay. This has been proven with multiple of companies. I've heard one of the stories is Apple. Apple have built a huge building in San Jose in USA, and the pandemic happened and they did not use it. So they asked for people that you have to come back, but they refused. So they had to move to hybrid working because they would lose one of their most precious employees. So people are working from home, people are working from the field or from the office or even coffee shops. To do this, we need to deliver basically a collaboration platform, a unified collaboration platform, in order to, for those users to communicate to each other and with their customers. Right? So whether it's a meeting, it's a messaging platform, it's a calling platform, all of this needs to be under one application, one user experience. The challenges here we have is basically disjoint experience between office and home working or coffee shop working. The hybrid workforce, we need to secure them, provide them with the proper connectivity and proper collaboration tools. For this, we have provided WebEx Cloud Calling. Previously, we had it as an on-prem solution back in the 2010 onward, and most of the enterprises were using it. However, more challenges came in. Just like Mr. Abu Bakr from AWS mentioned, that to process more data, you need a hyperscaler in order to scale. You need to introduce AI, introduce machine learning. All of this needs a bigger compute power. And to do this, you need to go to the cloud. And we've heard a lot in Kuwait recently, the journey for digital transformation and moving to cloud. For this, we've already developed our WebEx application on the cloud and move everything to the cloud. So whether it's calling, contact center, or meeting to the cloud. To basically have the digital transformation, enable the digital transformation, we also embedded the intelligence and the innovation inside our WebEx Cloud, and having the agility and flexibility in the manner of basically smoothly transitioning the users, because I'm sure maybe 80% of you guys here have used Cisco IP phone on their desk with an on-prem deployment. So moving from on-prem deployment, where an IP phone that you've been using for years now, to the cloud with a new interface, new phone, new application, could be hard. So a flexible deployment model where you can basically have a hybrid deployment and maybe later on move to the cloud is a must, right? So we don't only do cloud, we still do on-prem, we do hybrid, and we do cloud. Now, what are the key factors for differentiating multiple cloud providers, whether it's Cisco or other than Cisco? They need to have their money in the right place. So they need to have a proper innovation. They need to have a flexibility of the deployment, the one I just mentioned about, and they need to have resiliency and redundancy. You might ask yourself, what happens if the internet goes down, right? And we all know this, it happens in Kuwait, cable cut here or whatever. You need to have a resiliency, you need to have to back up, especially with customers where they have critical requirement for telephony. I'll mention that, how do we do it, but this is a very important requirement. And of course, on top of that, you need to have Tier 1 or S-tier support, which you guys are used to with Cisco TAC, and on top of that is security. So just to mention one thing, that we've built the WebEx Cloud from the beginning with security in mind. And we've been certified with a couple of certificates, such as the ISO 27001. All right, so all of this is nice talk, nice product, right? But what are the advantages and what are the challenges? First of all, the advantages, as I mentioned, you have basically rate of innovation is increased. We're announcing new features that are coming on WebEx 1. Maybe you should check it out, WebEx 1 on Google in the next 2 days. So we're continuously innovating, right? And in the past 2-3 years since the COVID, we've introduced more than 1,000 features in our collaboration platform. We have a unified application that unifies all your collaboration requirements. So whether it's calling, meeting, messaging, voicemail, contact center, attendant console, you name it, it's there in the application in a unified user experience. I just want to mention how important it is to have a proper UX design, right? So you might use an application just because the design is easy to use, whether it's a mobile app or a desktop app, and you might ditch another one just because it's not that good, right? So we're trying and we're continuously trying to unify our UX, the interface of the application, whether you're using it on a mobile device, laptop, or a meeting room. And the list goes on and on. You need flexible migration, simpler administration, with a unified administration platform to manage all your collaboration requirements, and no more upgrades by IT. I've been working as a technical engineer back in my early days in career, and I know what does it mean to upgrade something, right? You need a downtime, you need weekends, maybe a problem comes here or there, and you're working with multiple users. So when you upgrade a server, you need to verify all the IP phones on in your company. This is challenging. Now, what are the challenges of basically going to the cloud? As I told you, it's not a rainbow. There is a challenge, the disruptive transition. So basically transitioning from PBX, local PBX to a cloud PBX, unfamiliar user experience, and we've addressed that by slowly migrating our old products into a similar user experience to our new products, as well as, of course, security. Security always comes into mind, and we've addressed that with WebEx application. Now, let's talk why WebEx. All right, so Cisco is a huge company. Cisco employees is more than 80,000, with I think more than 100,000 Cisco partners that are working all together in order to deliver such products, right? And we do collaborate a lot, and I mean it a lot. Why? Because we have a support function that is working in UAE and KSA that is catering all the region users. Now, those people are working remotely with us. So we're constantly working and calling and video calling with 4K calling. A lot of things are happening, right? And this led to those numbers, as well as our huge number of customers. In the USA alone, big companies such as CNN, some oil companies in the oil and gas, all of them went with Cisco. Why? Because those are the numbers, right? So we have more than 250 million subscribers. We have more than 50 million cloud calling minutes. And we've done AI since 2-3 years, I think, where we've eliminated the noise and basically introduced new features that provide things such as meeting summary, notes. The AI can take notes from the meeting, stuff like that. All of this happened with the WebEx application. And of course, all the hardware was accredited by those rewards back in 2022. We've been awarded with the best collaboration platform and the best meeting room product, as well as best estimated return on investment. So whoever invested, they got the return of investment in a timely manner. So why WebEx calling is the best answer? I will not bore you again. It's flexible migration, integrated user experience, and this is the most important point, which is end-to-end security. And there's a report that is published online, shows that the WebEx is the only application that provides all the security check marks, right? With a hybrid model where you can deploy your local PBX, your existing PBX, integrate it with the cloud, you can have a smooth transition and reuse of your existing IP phones. All right, so this is the interface of the WebEx application. You can see here on the left side all your requirements, whether it's messaging, spaces, contacts, calls, voicemail, calendar integration. All of this is combined under one user interface to provide you with such a great application. On top of that, we have a great control on the WebEx Control Hub, where you can control everything in this application. So you don't want chatting. You can disable that from online. You only want to specify, let's say, 5 gig of storage for the users, and for the managers, 50G. So there is a lot of things that you can do and a lot of integrations. So whether you want to integrate it with the Zero Trust network, by integrating it with a multi-factor authentication, you can do that. You want to sync your local users up to the cloud, you can do that. Then the list goes on and on. All right, so yeah, in a nutshell, the WebEx application does calling, meeting, messaging, and enterprise-grade security. On top of that, we have a centralized managing and integrations. And the wireless pair and share, this is, just let me focus on that a little bit. On the WebEx application, you can, it works seamlessly with any new Cisco device. So whether you're using the collaboration device in the meeting room or your IP phone, you can control that using the WebEx app and just seamlessly join the meeting, and it will automatically join from the meeting room. All right, so this is it. This is one of the features that is, personally, I like it. I might call the account manager and just discuss something, and we want to invite one of our colleagues to join the call. So you don't have to send a meeting or ask him to join your personal meeting room in order to do that. Seamlessly, you just can go there and click conference and add into the call itself. And those are the features, whether it's screen sharing, whiteboarding, recordings, and AI transcription. AI transcription, I've tested this personally with a couple of my customers, where we've translated English and Indian into Arabic, right? And the translation was amazing. It's not just a simple translation. No, it does an AI in the background. So one of the examples, the customer said HR, human resources, and then it translated the HR into موارد بشرية. The idea is here is the translation happens with an AI-powered translation. All right, so I've talked about the WebEx application, all the feature, everything. I'll focus now on the WebEx calling itself. As you can see here, we have the disk phones, the new disk phone, the 8800 series, the disk collaboration device, whether it's the disk or Disk Pro or Disk Mini, and the application that works on the smartphones and on the laptops, as well as our headsets. Those are the features. Those of you who are familiar with the regular PBX features, whether it's call routing, call hunting, call history, CDR, alternative numbers, all of those are introduced to the cloud calling, as well as new features such as the AI features and the enhanced user experience. Here is a small screenshot of what comes into the WebEx application. You can enable, disable, license, unlicense specific features from those. You don't need to enable it all. But what you can get is basically on the left side, all the icons for the calling, contacts, so on and so forth. On the bottom, you can see the call settings and the multi-line functionality. So let's have you have your IP phones, you don't have an IP phone, you have multiple extensions, multiple DIDs. You can control all of this from the application itself, and you can do a VoIP calling or a PSTN calling, and as well as a video calling. And on the top right corner, this is the feature I told you where you can control the devices. So if you have a desk phone, you just click there, it will appear, click on the phone, and voila, that's it. You can control, make a call. Let's say you have a number on the laptop, you just click on it, it will pop up WebEx app and and initiate the call from the IP phone itself. So you control the phone from the laptop. This is some of the features where we've introduced the AI with the audio intelligence. One of the great features is, now, first of all, the hardware do the noise removal from the hardware itself. It does not happen. So basically, if you're making a PSTN call, you're calling a mobile or whatever, and you have a background noise, it can remove it, as well as noise removal on the application itself, obviously. But on the application itself, it can do something called optimize my voice. So let's say you're in a cafe or working in a workspace or on home. The noise, people voice is not a noise, right? This is how the traditional noise removal happens. It sends or it detects the noise by lower frequencies and remove that. But when people talk, this is not a noise, right? So you need an AI to be introduced to remove this. And this happens with the optimize my voice, so I want only my voice to appear in the meeting or in the call. And one of the great features is noise removal from external callers. So whoever is calling in on your WebEx application, let's say you have a PSTN number that is connected to your WebEx application, someone calls in and he has a noise, that can be removed as well. This is one of the features I wanted to also show, that we have an attendant console that comes basically for free with the WebEx Suite license that provides I would not call it simple features, because this is not simple. It provides a lot of call queuing. Maybe a receptionist is controlling the incoming calls for the manager, and so on and so forth. All of this comes into a web application and can be integrated directly into your WebEx application. So we provide complete call center, also cloud options. You have the one I just talked about, which is group calling and multi-line. It falls under those two. And this comes as free. And it's recommended for smaller teams and smaller groups. And basically, this is a good option to migrate from the UCCX. If you need more advanced features, something that integrate with omni-channels, whether it's WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, whatsoever, you can do that with the WebEx Call Center. WebEx Call Center is a cloud call center with the most advanced features. This is a separate license. Last but not least is the multi-calling. This is the window where you get the multi-line. So you can, for example, here show that this user is busy by showing basically the red icon here. The green, this user is available, so the receptionist can forward the call where she can monitor the call, or she or he can have multiple lines in this case. On top of that, the WebEx Control Hub provides very deep analytics for free included. This is where the again, the cloud benefits happen, is because all of those queues and call queues and incoming calls are analyzed into our WebEx Control Hub, which is cloud-based. So yeah, basically this is a snapshot of basically a call that happened, and it shows you a total, or let's say a total summary of whatever calls you have had. So in this case, we have 15.9K thousand calls, and we have 85% of good calls, and 91.7 is the average latency and jitter. And you can filter that with many filters and graphs where you can monitor your contact center, VIP customers, VIP users, all of this. Now, this is also one specific feature where you can, all right, let's say you have like 30, 20 VIP CEOs, you don't want any disruption there. You can add their users, and once the WebEx detects that there is an issue, before even he noticed that there is an issue in his call, right, it will send an immediate notification to the customer. I'm just showing this. This is just one of the 1,000 features are available, but I'm showing this to show you what the cloud can do. This is the difference between the PBX on-prem and on-cloud. This cannot be done on-prem. And at last, the security. The security is built in, not bolt in. What does that mean? We did not build a platform, then added the security. No, we built a platform ground up with security. We've had physical security in our data centers. We have the ISO 27000 certification. We have the data protection, as well as anti-malware. So whatever file you send within WebEx application is scanned before it's downloaded to your laptop or computer. As well as fraud detection, because I'm sure many of you have had this. So it can detect any fraud call that is coming from outside trying to use your PSTN call to initiate a call outside your organization. And as I mentioned, survivability is very important. So your internet goes down, what happens? Your IP phones goes down, that should not happen. With the local gateways that are configured and inherit all the configuration from the cloud, the IP phones can, once they lose connectivity to the WebEx cloud, it will register directly into the local gateway. This can be configured on the headquarters or any branch. So this is our platform. This is our pull platform. We have devices, specialized experiences, whether it's telehealth, government, oil and gas fields, or whatever industry fields where they need to communicate with the head office. We have collaboration suite from calling, meeting, messaging, and we provide this platform as a service. And on top of this, all of those comes with security and artificial intelligence in mind. We have 99.99 committed uptime and geo-redundancy. Our data centers are distributed around the world, so it can provide geo-redundancy with global support and security. Recently, we've introduced a new node in Saudi Arabia, right? And it will be launched, I think, before the calendar year 24, as well as all those data centers that have been running for years now. For the PSTN calling, if you don't want to do a VoIP call, not just a WebEx to WebEx call, WebEx to a mobile application, forget about the first one on the left and the first one on the right. Just look at the local gateway, because this is what's available in Kuwait, where you can configure your existing local gateway, the existing PSTN that are coming from ISPs or MOC, and do some configuration with the cloud connector and connect it to the cloud. Now, how to buy, right? This is our top suite, the most cost-efficient one subscription that provides you with all of this, right? Whether it's calling, messaging, meeting, as well as a polling application that is called Slido that comes for free, as well as events. So even if you organize events physically, not only on the web, this application can help you, which we acquired recently It used to be called Socio. Now it's part of Cisco. So in summary, we provide enterprise-grade collaboration platform. We provide complete collaboration platform. We provide increased productivity with multiple deployment models. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for having me. Assalamu alaikum.